Oh dear Gary, what we got here? So I'm on the 15th hole at Thoughtwood Golf Course. I've managed to pull my tee shot to the left and I've ended up in the trees. So this is one of the two main escape shots that you'll come across, the other one being at the long grass. So the escape from the trees, first thing I would always do is what I call my housework. So I got the ball and I tidy up. So I make sure there's no branches or twigs that's going to interfere with my swing or my stance. Just be careful though, because if you do move a twig or a branch and the ball moves, you're going to get penalised for that. So we'll just be careful, making sure we don't make the ball move from its spot. So I've tidied up, moved all the branches and twigs. After my housework will come what I call my homework. So this is where I decide what club I'm going to take and what line I'm going to try to use to get the ball back in play, back onto the fairway. The trees, the club I always like to use is the 5-iron. So that does two things. It keeps the ball low so we don't hit the branches, but creates a little bit of ball speed, which will help us to get it through the long grass back onto the fairway. So you can use a 7. I always think you're in danger of catching the trees and you won't get the speed that you'll need to get the ball back onto the fairway. So I've done my housework, I've done my homework. When it comes to deciding the line, you might just be able to make out the flag in the corner there. Your instincts will be drawn to the flag. A good tip for you is the 6 out of 10 rule. I would only start the ball on a line where I'm confident of doing it 6 times out of 10. So in this case, if I was to go for the flag, I wouldn't be very confident. So I've got a bit of space to the right here. So I'd be fairly confident of getting the ball through there at least 6 times out of 10. So again, I've done my housework, I've done my homework, I've decided what club I'm going to take and the line. Third thing I always do is I refresh the detail that's unique for the shot you're about to play. So this one, what I look for here is I try to make sure I've got my heels close together. That helps to quieten the swing. If you create too much force, you're going to create some lift, and there's a chance you're going to catch the branches. So to help quieten the swing, I always have my heels close together and I always play the ball back in the stance. In the trees, there's not a lot of grass about, so you get a lot of uneven lies. So to ensure that you catch the ball clean, then I like to play the ball back, and you'll find that the handle then naturally moves forward. And the last thing I always do, I just go through my routine, just telling my brain what I'd like to happen. So this is what I call locking on to the target. Just like a snooker player would stand behind the ball, this cue ball with his cue, and he would tell his brain what he'd like to happen. So look at the ball, I'm going to see it take off, I'm going to see it bounce just under the trees, then it's going to roll back onto the fairway. That's worked out just nice, and I'd be over the moon with that one. So to sum up, the escape shot from the trees, the club we always use is the 5-iron. The detail we're looking for is we want our heels close together with the ball back. And then when it comes to choosing the line, remember the 6 out of 10 rule. Don't start the ball on the line unless you're confident of doing it 6 times out of 10.